Generous poll promises made by the Congress party in Karnataka has certainly worked in its favour, but now it's time to count the cost for the Karnataka exchequer. And it isn't just about Karnataka. Given that the poll promises have worked, the temptation may be for Congress and other parties to follow the same formula. But are parties cognizant of the cost of their promises and the state of state finances? Today I have with me one member of the Congress, Professor Rajeev Gowda, the party's national spokesperson and chairperson of the Congress Research Department. In a bit, I'll also be joined by Mr. Sushil Mody of the BJP. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get them together. Professor Gowda, first, thank you for joining us. First, have you all calculated the cost of the poll promises? 2,000 rupees for every woman in each household, free power, 200 units, 10 kilos of food grains. What's the bill?
We've looked at 2,000 per month to women, women in households. There are about 1.3 crore households in Karnataka. So it works out to 24,000 per year, about 31,200 crores. Graha Jyoti, which is the in some sense revenue foregone. You're not charging people for 200 units of electricity a month. A lot of people actually only use about 50 to 70 units. So the overall cost of that would be about 5,000 crores. Annabhagya is a continuation of a program that we had launched during the Siddaramaiah government, where we were providing rice to families at a low, very, very low cost. And now we're talking about 10 kgs. So if you take 1 crore families below the poverty line, average 2.5 people, 10 kgs of grain. So basically about 4,500 crores there. Now, the unemployment benefits.
Yes.
There are about 5 lakh unemployed youth, according to the CMIE data. Now, you must remember that this is, in fact, it's even worse because unemployment measures those who are looking for a job. Actually, if you look at what's happened in Karnataka over the last few years, you've seen the labor force participation rate drop from 50% to 38%. People are so discouraged, they're not even trying, they're not even looking. And so we really have to do something like this to help people, graduates and diploma holders and others to pick themselves up and find a job. And so that's about, say about 27,000 rupees per for about 500 million people, not even 500 million, 0.05 crore people, so about 1,350 crores. And then free bus travel in public transport for women. If you say 27 rupees per passenger, about 25 lakh passengers per day across all road transport corporations, you're probably looking at about 2,500 crores. So everything works out to a total of about 45,000 crores. Now, before you ask me further questions, let me remind you about something called Keynesian economics, where we put money in the hands of people when they're hurting. That ends up creating a multiplier impact when they spend that money, and that generates growth in the economy. And Karnataka has always been a fairly high growth economy. I think we've also managed our fiscal resources very carefully over time.
The last budget, the FY24 budget, was actually a revenue surplus of about 400 crores. But the fiscal deficit is a little over 60,000 crores, and that's 2.6% of the GSDP of Karnataka. Now, will you not cross that 3% Lakshman Rekha with this added 45,000 crore?
Yes, we will get very, very close to doing that. There are ways of managing, I'm sure. But the basic point is these are all measures that are absolutely necessary. These are, you said we are being very generous in our promises. We are being empathetic. We are paying attention to people's pain, and we are working to alleviate that pain.
No, I take your point, sir. I mean, nobody can argue against empathy. But the point is, you can only serve what is there in the pan. And hence the question, Karnataka is actually the richest large state. I mean, if you exclude Delhi, Chandigarh, Sikkim, Goa, in terms of large states, it is the richest state. The per capita income of Karnataka is 71% higher than the average per capita income of the country. If you go with this kind of promise platform in Karnataka, should we expect that Congress would be even more generous in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, who are also going to the polls in a few months? And there, the per capita income is lower than the national per capita income. Should we see a, block copy over there? Copy paste.
So if you recall, we had come up with a program called Nyai, for the bottom 20% of the nation's families. We had proposed to give them 72,000 rupees per year, 6,000 rupees per month, and that we were not able to implement because we did not come to office in 2019. But these are all, in some sense, reflecting the spirit of Nyai, the spirit of inclusion that we want to emphasize. And so we reject the term freebie. We think of these as investments in our people's all-round health and welfare. You probably will see similar programs attuned to the realities of each state and their own fiscal bandwidth as well.
I come back to the point that we can, we have to cut the shirt according to the cloth we have. And in Rajasthan and other states, there is also the preference for the old pension scheme. That would bring its own expenses in the years to come, if not immediately. IRDA has clearly said they are not going to release the money that's already been put in the new pension scheme, which means, okay, you may get some relief now, but that expense will also come in. And plus these expenses, there are power problems for the MP state and Rajasthan. At least Karnataka doesn't have those problems. You can only do that much in a 3% fiscal deficit. So do you think that you are endangering the fisc in the states?
I wouldn't really think so. I think in Karnataka, we are, cutting our suit according to the cloth that we have, and our estimate of how much cloth we think we will be having. We are also confident that some of these measures, for example, if we can generate growth, partly through this Keynesian infusion of resources in every family's home. Just imagine if the rural economy picks up, the rural demand picks up. The kind of benefit that will provide to FMCG companies, to two-wheeler manufacturers, a whole bunch of things like that. And the kind of job creation, if we are able to turn around, then the unemployment benefit will be phased out. You won't need to spend on that. If we generate through public, private, and other innovative measures, more energy projects. We are already an energy surplus state. We did, under D.K. Shivkumar, when he was energy minister, we launched this mega solar project without acquiring land through partnerships with farmers. So we have ways of doing more, which will ensure that some of these issues will not really bother us. Okay. We will be able to implement. And then if you look at administrative convenience, this whole business, Mr. Bommai said that he had also announced, free bus travel for working women and students. Well, that would have entailed going and getting passes and a whole bunch of other things. Now it is very simple. Okay. We also need administrative simplicity, right?
Yeah, that's very considerate, Professor Gowda, but I'm not sure it's affordable. But thank you very much for your quick word. We have to take a break, and thereafter, Mr. Sushil Mody, the Rajya Sabha MP and former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, senior BJP leader, joins us.